Right here, we have news from the home front and as it concerns Ambazonians. First, let's start with the president's thoughts on the TPS. For we all know that in the wake of the brutal armed conflict in the southern Cameroon's Amazonia, many citizens fled for persecution, violence, and political repression under the La République de Cameroon regime. And so, in recognition of these humanitarian concerns, the United States government granted temporary protected status, the TPS. This was granted to nationals from the Cameroons in 2022, which was offering a lifeline to thousands of Amazonians escaping war and seeking refuge. However, recent developments have raised serious concerns. The broad label of Cameroons has left Amazonians vulnerable once again, as the US now moves to strip their designation entirely under former President Donald Trump's deportation policy, a decision that falls and fails to account for the unique and still dangerous circumstances faced by Amazonians. And so, if this policy is enacted without distinction between the oppressed and the oppressor, countless victims of La République de Cameroon colonial war could be deported back to very territories where their lives remain at risk. And so tonight, the President of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, Dr. Samuel Likame's address to Amazonians and Amazonian nation and the world at large, we would try to analyze it just briefly on the implications of what these developments and what it can mean for the people in the diaspora. But there was this particular session of the speech that caught us made us very emotional. He was appealing to over 7,000 Amazonians in diaspora to do something different. Let's get that piece.
Fellow Ambazonians, last week, towards the close of the week, we witnessed a story from the press that the Trump administration is contemplating the cancellation of the TPS, the Temporary Protective Status, for the people from Cameroon, legally identified as Cameroonians here. This decision will affect about 7,000 plus people from Cameroon. And I think almost half of that number will be Ambazonians, if not more. Now, the Trump administration ran on immigration. Campaign was based on immigration. The kind of Mr. Trump kind of believed that he had a mandate from Americans to solve the problem of immigration. So we knew from the beginning that this is going to be tough, because when somebody runs on an issue and he wins election, that issue becomes front and center. It would take a lot of push behind the scene to alter anything in that agenda. So we started before and after the inauguration to take certain actions.